been proven that 2,000 years ago, the Fylde Coast was actually several miles further west than it is today. The likelihood is that the flow that we call Loon Deep was probably the Wyre estuary, and that the land to its east, which is just sandy, it was actually a vast, marshy area of land stretching as far as Shell Wharf. And the farm called Fenny, near to Rossall, has been rebuilt many yards eastwards on at least 4 occasions. It's been moved to the east to make it safe from the storms.
On a sidewinder, they have to bend down and pick the fish up. And fish aren't light. That we're talking about big fish that weighed more than a building brick, 9 and 10 pound or more. So 18 hours of bending down and picking that up and pulling the nets by hand, physically very, very hard. Not that life was easy on these ships, it wasn't, but it was easier. So the fish had been tipped into these bins and could be let down into this trough. You stood here and you had to gut the fish, you had to pick them up, cut them open with a knife and take all the intestines out, otherwise they would go rotten. So the guts, they threw down these holes and seawater washed them over the side, where there was a huge flock of seabirds waiting to devour the waste. And they threw the fish into the washer. And the washer, just a big stainless steel box in the middle here, full of seawater, circulated seawater. And the thing about trawlers is they roll about a lot, so all the time, even with the gear down, the ship's moving, and the movement of the ship helped the fish to go around in the washer, get clean, fall out of the end by gravity, and go down a little chute and through into the hold, which is where we're going next. But there was one bit of the fish that they didn't throw away, and there's a picture of a basket full of them here, one of these wicker baskets. Does anyone know?
The cod roe.
No, not the roes. Well, they did save the roes when the roes were in season. Not roes. The livers.
Yeah.
The livers. Yeah, because in the days before the Trades Descriptions Act, it wasn't just the livers of the cod that they saved the livers of many fish, and they stored them in tanks under the floor of this space here. When they came home, the little ship there, the Sea Maid, came round in the dock, collected the livers and took them to a factory called Spencer's, where they were processed and turned into liver oil. And to encourage the crew to do that, to take the trouble to save the livers, they got paid a bonus, liver oil money. So the more liver oil, the more money we're earning. So when the ship returned and the fish was brought on shore by the dockers, I'll tell you a bit more about that, it was placed in these containers which are called kits, an old northern word, 10 stone of fish, 140 pounds in those, and the better quality fish was placed in boxes. And they were laid out, the boxes and the kits, in blocks of 50 on the market. The auctioneers came at 8 o'clock, as I told you earlier on, and the fish was sold. So let's go through into the hold. It's low here, so mind your heads.
The best local information.
More stuff about the area.
Online 24/7.
Community Radio.